Right, well, I have, as I've shown in other Let's Plays, been mucking around with my models. Unfortunately, there's some casualties. Now, though, it's sort of good because yesterday I'd got it sort of right, but I've changed my models so that they are all proper, as in like, you know, I've made a production, it's quite large, but not too large. But I've done this to all of them, and I've like literally removed the grates because they were productions. I was sort of getting my wires crossed because I took it from a silo to begin with. I sort of carried on with that model, and really it's a production, so I don't need the grate. I don't need the whereas I do on that type, but this type I really don't. It's just like a building inside with a factory. So, but obviously there's damage because the placement is now wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly jump out of the game. We're going to place another one, but I'm going to remove the stuff from the XML and move it back in. So just, I wanted to make you aware of like, I don't suppose I needed to, but I like to show you really behind the scenes things, especially now I've been started to mod, because I think people are interested in that particular type of thing. And it's, I suppose it is really true. Oh, there's a collision there. Yeah, there's a bit of an old collision and then a bit of a new one. I keep calling this the pusher, so I've called it the pusher. It is a production silo, but I'm calling it the pusher. Yeah, I'm trying to sort of get a bit more creative. If I'm going to choose a particular model, and I am, then I want to make it as sort of pretty and my own as possible. Yeah, and I realise this mod has done what I did, but it's a bit of a catch-22 situation. I can't see anybody ever making flour to sell flour. It's not worth the same as bread. But if you do this and you put flour on your... this is a bit of boring information to anyone who's not a modder, I suppose, but I'll be quick. Yeah, if you put on your pallet trigger that you can take flour out, because it stores naturally, any flour you make is going to come up and sit on here, and then of course you can't use it because you can't actually stick it back in because it's flour. I mean, you can't load it into a trailer. You can only sell it at that point. So after seeing this, I noticed it on one of my own productions, so I've taken flour off the trigger so that it can never appear on the pallet trigger, because this mod has done the same as me. You don't always think about the consequences of your action, but no, I don't think many people are ever going to want to sell flour, really. I mean, perhaps some, but most of us would go for bread because it's worth more. So going forwards, yeah, I might have to place my own, which is I really wanted to sort of do this, show this mod, but it's gonna I'm gonna keep selling or getting flour come up, so we can't really have that. I don't, other than selling flour, I think once you've got this product, I don't think there is a way for you to grab it back in and stick it in. So I'm going to be right back. Yeah, you can see it's bigger. I'm hoping it's not. Oh, it has a little. Yeah, even the production. This has got to be like, oh my life. Yeah, it is. I knew it was bigger, but I didn't quite realise it was going to like come through there. So there's. Yeah, I suppose that's probably a good idea for me to like pop around from one place to the other and just see what is happening. Yeah, and this... Oh. Right. Okay, so that is still a casualty. This one... Hang on, have we got two there? Oh, it looks like we've lost the... We have. We've lost the... Oh, which was it? Was it self-sufficiency? Oh, I've caught on a... Yeah, this is why I wanted to come in. And also, I suppose, yeah, the other thing is you can see the other side of modding. You know, like when you're doing things like this. So the biogas production side of they're all good. The farmland... No, it's that I was wanting to get out. Yeah, that was a natural giants one. That one... I haven't played around with the silage maker. And... I can't get... I hate it. These little... They are good, really. I'm not... Yeah. I'm spouting a bit because I'm a bit... yeah, so that is also okay. So the multi-fruit, I don't think I mucked around with that. It was all apart from the pipes, which I've got to fix that as well. So right, I shall be right back. It looks like I've got quite a lot of work to do. So I shall see you in a bit. Right, I'm back a little bit. I thought I'd show some of this on camera. I'm trying to change something on this, but again, it's about when you load your... I've got it back in. It's fixed. I did think I knew what that one was. I've added slurry from manure. Now that Giants have fixed manure, I thought it is possible. I've changed this as well, but it loaded the... It had already gripped the XML file when I'd made changes afterwards, or it won't let me make the changes. So that will be two set. I thought if you watered down manure and sort of could, obviously there'd be chemicals that you added, which is why the cost is sort of, like getting higher. Then obviously you would get more, not less. So I thought, well, this wants to be like what the other one was, but I've knocked that one back down now to straight swap. That we literally just, like, again, because sometimes people might want to do the other way around. So that's fixed. I've got the amount stored ready to do this. So if we go to, so I've not got, I've done it again. Yeah, I need to. This is only trouble when you, I think I can visit that. Yeah. I got them all right, but again, I've had to completely rip the models to pieces. It didn't work quite as I planned. I need to shift those because we're going to shift that straight on top. Yeah, and so I just wanted to show you this. I'm going to time lapse it. It's a bit faffy. No, it's only going to take seconds. There's collisions where there shouldn't be collisions and all sorts of things because I think it's remembering the position of the original one. So you're like going through something that's no longer there. But if we can't put the new one down whilst the clothes are here. Yeah, it's never a good idea. What I wanted to do was good, but oh wow, on the scale that I've done it, it has caused me so much pain. I am one of them sleepless nights where you're thinking, oh, can I fix this? And then I think, yeah, of course I can. I'll fix it. It's scale. It's a matter of, as a modder, you really, I suppose it's taught me, I keep saying this and then I keep doing it again. I had a grand master plan. I always think it's when you're not at your best that you have these big ideas that really you should, if you've got any sense, you'd be thinking, oh, that's not necessarily a good idea. So basically, what is in both of these isn't going to get lost because I've got the amount stored on my OneNote, so I can just copy and paste it back in when we're going to lose, but we're going to give ourselves the cash back because obviously we did pay like the full price for these, and we're only doing this because they're in the wrong place. So, okay, so that's 4,000 odd. Let's do that straight away. No, we can't. So that's 4,000 odd. Spinnery. So that's 8,000 basically to add. We'll do that before I forget because I know what I'm like. Yeah, so the only reason I'm doing this is obviously to put them down. I think we're going to need to level the area. Oh, I don't know, it might do weird things. Probably best to just try to do this. Yeah, those models are the new models though. They're what I've actually done. So we want to go for... It's a standard. I'm going to make some doubles where I do both, but again, it's a little bit like I was saying in that a few minutes ago. You have to be careful because there's hidden casualties of things that you didn't think of, like flour appearing on your pallet trigger and things like that. So we want a spinnery, and this indeed was here. Right, so then I might need to muck around my triggers a little. Wow, it is big. I knew it was big. I did. It's so if we stick that. Yeah, that's at the front. Just wish you could lock these. Wow, that's without B mode as well. That's quite amazing. Yeah, I think I think there's collisions missing or something. We could sort of, if we're gonna do the about there. Fantastic. And then we want the tailor. Oh, again, it is bigger. Obviously, they are bigger, but I've tried to go for realism in a way. So we could sort of stick that like that. Bearing in mind, really, it's the tailor that is important. But the other thing, I suppose, it's probably better to do it completely differently like that. Because it doesn't, in fact, yeah, and we're going to block that gate off because I think I'd like to do chickens. So if I stick that like that, it's not really getting in the way of anything, but even though it's bigger. Right, fantastic. Let's have a look at that. So many clear areas and everything. Yeah, I've got to level that a little bit. But most things are alright about it. I can't remember if we did the painting ourselves manually or whether that's... But that's not too terrible. Yeah, and we're just inside the fence. So yeah, that's good. So that's those two done. Now I'll go out and I will put the... Now the other thing was this production silo, wasn't it? The pusher. Did we call this one... I think we did. I think we called it bakery. Silo, we did. Right, okay, so smashing. So what I need to do now is I didn't do this because I need to... Has it got anything in it first? That's what we really... I think it's got some grass. Oh, quite a lot of grass. And slurry and digestate and an awful lot of silage. Yeah, right, okay. So in that case, I'm going to need to take note of this one. And then I'm going to... What I'll do is I'll literally just shift this outwards a little bit so it's going to take up a little bit more room all my life. Probably reset the poor mower because it's being crushed presently. Right, so I shall be right back. Right, for transparency more than anything, let's just get that as well. You just see where my money goes and all the rest of it, and if I'm being honest, I know bakery silo. Sure we lost for that. Let's put another one down straight away. Production silo, so 2,777 is what we lost. Okay, let's stick that down. Would it go in the middle there? Would that be not a bad place, really? If we're allowed, I don't think we'll probably be allowed to get rid of the green thing. Let's have a go. I doubt it. B. No, we can't. We could probably put it over in B mode, though. Can't imagine that being mattering, actually, if I'm honest. So let's just shift that out the road. It just seems a perfect place. If we can get it, it looks like we can. Just because it takes up more room, I'm just thinking it leaves a bit more of the yard. I do love the way Oxygen David has made that very slushy, though, that actual area. Obviously, it was annoying for the loading, but what I meant for the realism element, I thought it was fantastic. Right. Glad we left ourselves plenty of time. Yeah. If we just gain some money. Okay, so we need to do B mode, and we're going to need to look from the back first, so we can see if we're inside the fence. I think we can get that in there. Oh, of course, yeah. I've just reset the thing, so that is true. We need to undo that. It won't let me do it otherwise. Let's try that again and see if with a bit of placement whether we can actually stick that. We know it overlaps with another object. We are sort of trying to obscure the fact that we're hiding the green tub. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to do that. Might be going a bit too close. Might have a bit of bleed if we do that. Will the gate? I'm not sure the gate. We might get away with it being there anyway, by the look of it. I don't think we need to worry about that. Right, I think that's both gates safely through, and I would say that's fairly central. Ooh. It is, that's in trouble with B mode, isn't it? You've then got to, like, get your levels right. So we need to level that. And then when you soften it, of course, it actually undoes what you've just done. Ah, not in that case. It was, yeah. Right, fantastic. Now, that looks about right. So I'm going to stick the stuff back in that should have been in there. So it's slightly different. We just going to have a quick look at the one in the yard, because don't know if I actually... Oh, we're in it. Yeah, I've got to change that again, haven't I? Yeah, I already came in earlier and actually changed this, and I still got to fix the pipes on that. Yeah, it's done all that de-levelling, although this is our land, so although it has gone back further back, and we've got a tree growing in it, Yeah, it's apart from that, it's actually not too terrible. So it is a bit bigger. Let's just like undo the damage that we've done on here and make it a little bit more nice, because it is definitely a bit weird and we need it to be fairly level. We need to do a little tiny bit of lifting and then a little tiny bit of very small softening. I would say that's not too terrible. All right, so now we need to go down to the production for farm, which again we're inside it. I have at different stages fixed this, and then I had to go back a step and do it again. Yeah, like the BI, that sign on most of my new ones is above the black, because I think it, although it's brilliant that it clings to the body like that, it's a bit... it's not too terrible for a flat piece, so that's very slightly. I think I can cope with it going through there. That's not too terrible. The only thing is, some I don't know why, because all that this should now take manure to make slurry, but it's like I've lost. No, I had this on the other models as well. I think because if you think about this, it's now a production. It's not a. But we did used to be able to put other things in, and I've got all of the things. I can see that the lime has been cast out. It's treating this as a proper production, and I think that's what the problem is. I think that Giants, if you're going to go for production, I think you might be able to have the grain. What this is a cross between a silo and a production, and I don't imagine. I mean, Nikki did it in FS22, but I don't think you're allowed to do it in FS25 so far, because I tried it earlier because my models were based upon a silo. And it didn't let me get away with it, so I then thought, well, hang on, aren't I doing this from the wrong direction? I thought, why don't we make everything into a production? And that worked. And you can then do away with that. At the minute, this is partially a silo. Well, we can muck around with it and make it into a complete production. So I think I'm going to have to do that. I thought this type was going to be all right, because it did sort of partially work before. I don't know what's changed, whether Giants have done an update. I know that, but I'm not sure. This has still got collisions as well in places it shouldn't have collisions. Yeah, and yet it's got no collisions where it should have collisions, so it's a bit strange. I shall put collisions back on. I can do that, but there's sort of something weird happening here, like a tip collision, but it's blocking me. So I don't know whether it's because it's trying to keep the manure in. It may be that when the manure's gone, all of this goes away. So I need to be able to tip it somewhere. And I don't really want to stick another silo in when one of the jobs of that now is to make... Yeah, I think I showed you... I've tweaked the settings on this so that it should now read what it should have done before. Yeah, 2777. So that one should now produce more. So I don't know why... Oh, is it that... Slurry from manure. I've got that activated, have we? No. Manure from slurry, we haven't got that activated either. No, we deactivated it. Wow, got an awful lot of manure. So, yeah, we'll... No, there's still enough room for that. Yeah, if I have to put... no, I'll fix it. It's just... Right, I'm going to be right back. I've just got the last little bit to do, and then we should be cooking on gas. I thought I'd include it, because it may be boring, but I wasn't sure whether anyone else would like to see it, because not many people show something like this. It might be, but people... Oh! Bionic Dairy's gone. Right, okay, that's something else. Another casualty that I didn't realise. So that one's going to need fixing. Do we stick that down? I have backed it up. I backed it up a few minutes ago. So we could stick that down and take the money away, because we've already paid for it. But we could also, knowing what we know about that area, we could sort of do things a little differently. Let's just get the Merlot and we'll sell that butter. No, we'll just pull it out of the way, because it might not be worth much at the minute. And we'll get rid of all of the fence. No, we'll leave the fence as a reference point, I think. Yeah, and then we'll... that's going to take up a bit more room, but there are a lot of, like, horrible bits that are there anyway, so... But I suppose that's my point. We could... We've got the white trailer as a bit of a reference, I think. Do we leave that one thing in? I wish you'd get your money back, like you... It's easy, yeah, we do want to do that. Yeah, it does seem a little unfair that you... I mean, in our instance, we're doing it for like a special reason. So, right, I'm going to be right back. See you shortly. Apologies. Yeah, I'm absolutely cream crackered. I am. Uh, said I was going to place it, and then I didn't do it, did I? It's just typical of me. Right, so we need to stick the bionic dairy down. We need to pay ourselves back though for it because obviously we have already paid for it. Bionic oil mill, bionic dairy. So we could, I suppose, be clever and stick the grates close to the selling of that. Although it's more, that is about, I would say about right. It's covering those horrible bits. We can see some of it there. I'm hoping there's no bits there. I'm thinking, right, so 27777. Let's give that back. Fantastic. So this is a completely remodeled one in so much as it hasn't no nozzle, and it looks like I'm going to have to do that with that. It's almost like Giants are saying productions are productions and silos are silos. Now we did sort of in FS22 have a bit of a in between. Nicky's was silos still, but there were still productions inside. It looks like Giants have drawn a line. Well, I said this before, sometimes it's because you've done something wrong within the mod itself, so it could be that as well. But yeah, have I lost? No, I haven't lost my handle. Right, so smashing. So I've done this bigger because I have made the drop point bigger, so for us to stick the things in, anything we need to go in, that is. I don't really think we do we? Do we ever put anything in? And then obviously that is the normal spawn points, which I think I'll leave. Let's just test this before we yeah, because we're not going to lose any value, really. Let's just have a quick whiz around, though, just to see if we're actually hitting any... I mean, I know Oxygen David is probably going to fix these at some point soon, so... Oh, yeah, there's something there. We're not likely to go there. I'm just wanting to make sure that where we load, or load, it's up to about there, so that's okay. Are we going to get caught by anything over here? Not really in the area we're working. Yeah, we don't want to be blocking this area off, so not done too terrible. That's okay. Right, so now what I'm going to do is in the background, I'm going to stick the contents of the bionic dairy down. I'm tempted to remove the manure and then see what happens and then put it back to see if it will go within the confines of this now that we've done this, or whether this outside is... Well, if I remove it completely, we really should have nothing left causing any damage. Right, so I'm going to be right back. It's not that it's not working, it's set back a little bit. The size of this has basically meant that you can't actually get to it. I thought I'd got it working before, so I can put manure in there. It's just that it's not in the place that you'd think it would be. So can we... Yeah, the weird thing is this is not showing us it's got any manure in it. It says like... So it's almost like it's stored as a variable somewhere in the game that you can't actually adjust. Also had major meltdowns. That's why if anyone looks at the time that I've literally... you know, does it... Oh, it does look like it's dragging it from everywhere. It still includes this as the... looks like some of it's still outside though. Yeah, so you have to really go to... So at least I can muck around with. If it's just position, which it is, then I can actually do something about that. I just thought I'd got to start from scratch. And I've been on this for hours. It's one of those soul-destroying moments where you... It's a bit like having a new kitchen and like halfway through the job you think, oh, it's so much pain. But you just got to crack on and see it through to the end. But it's not how I imagined spending... have I filled it? I don't think I filled this. Oh, I might have done. It was getting high already. Just think it's a sweet spot. It's got a really... Although, oh, yeah, no, it is really quite tight. You yeah. And if it really is almost against the actual body of it. So let's have a look how much we've actually got in here, because I would imagine we're getting quite a lot really now. I just wanted to see if we could actually grab the manure from here to see if... it does look like there's some outside then. We might have to use the... It looks like whatever it did to begin with. Right, no, that's not. I think we're just going to need to sort of. It's a shame because it's obviously got some sort of a value, so we're going to have to like be very slow because it's. I think you're just going over the tip. Yeah. No, it's not wanting to do it. Wow, that is really right. Let's do something about this. But it's going to cost us to destroy, so that we're going to we'll be. Let's just because I'd like to see if it fixes itself because it. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't how much. I can't see this being the problem really, but I know you can use this trick. So if we use that now. Going forward, we'll see. Now, are there any collisions still? Yeah, there's a wall here, like a tip collision, which stops you as well. But there's no collisions where there should be collisions, so it's really strange. I'm going to need to look into this, because I can walk through the walls everywhere else, which could be why the menu is spilling out. So, yeah, I'm going to have to look into it. I thought I'd fix this. It's like anything with modding. It is an absolute nightmare. You fix one element of it and then something else comes and hits you in the back of the head. It really is like that. It is working, but it doesn't look like it's working. And yeah, the trigger markers and all that stuff. So you can see that the lime is actually popping of its own thing. So that's good. It's nice that we actually made that lime ourselves. We do need to put some water in though. I'd just like to quickly put some water in that, so we can use the mucky one, because it really isn't. It's for mucky mucky processors. We might put something down there. Yeah, so I just we need water, which we can get from Omatana's cheap supply for free. Yeah, so we get in there now. God, it has been an absolute slog. I really wanted to escape. With these type of things, you really sort of want to just have a bit of fun. No, it is free. I thought it was. I just want to see if I'm right. Obviously, it should go in here, but again, it might be like that one where we could do it really tight, because it's... Yeah, I'll just show you what I mean. If you look in here... Oh, the dump icon's gone. The dump icon... no, of course, I've removed some of the innards of it now, haven't I? Yeah, before, it actually did show the dump... so yeah, now it's not an odd place. Yeah, very, very specific, but it is there, so I need to fix that and make it a bit better. But at least I know everything's actually working, and that's the main thing. And well, it isn't, but yeah. It's nice to be back on Calmsden with, I think everything is back to almost normal. It didn't like me putting stuff in. I think we're going to have to put some in naturally first. I think it's got a variable. It basically says it crashed the game twice, no, about 3 times actually, and said that expected value is nil, and basically that it got some in there. In other words, yeah, not putting it very well, but mind you, it's an error message. It's like an error, and it basically says that I'm expecting to have nothing, and I have found something, so therefore I've got a question mark, and the game stops. So it just won't load any more than 60%. So I think we've got some in, I think. Or did we take it all out? No. Yeah, but I just really want to put some in, because that might... I think it's that it doesn't create the storage until you put something in, so it's like zilch. And the other thing is with modding is it's quite specific. Yeah, I've never tried this either, but it should be the same place really. Ooh, that's not... Oh wow. Well, that's the point. Yeah, no, this will go in the actual normal place. Should do. Which is that bit there. So let's go forwards. Oh, pushing me weight around. Yeah, it should be in this square, because this now is a production, so therefore I should... okay. Okay, that's interesting. which is IT tech for all my life. What is going on here? Is it the same place as the other one? Being as it's no, it's a different model. The only thing I can think of is that yeah, it's filling, but it's not wanting to. Yeah, I've got to unload here. It's milk, so yeah, I'll figure it out. Yeah, I thought my job was done, but it's not. So I should be right back. We're getting there though. I was going to say I was despairing myself, to be honest, with all of the battles that I've had to try to get this back in sort of place. But it's like anything. I've completely changed something from one thing to another, and we're sort of like almost there. I mean, we've got everything now is back on the map that should be. I still want to remove this one and put the self-sufficiency, but for now we just pop. Yeah, I can't actually go in them yet. I did actually fix all of that. That's what I say. I've taken one step. Oh, that one's is sticking out a little bit too much. That one wants putting in a bit. Yeah. Apart from that, though, not too bad. Yeah, so everything's about back to... But this has got... Yeah, obviously we took the 3 tons. That is actually doing well. That is actually really is doing clothes again. So from the storage... It's weird. This expected to have some, so I could put the things in this. As we can see, there's 7.5 tons in, which is what was in the original one. Because it had already existed, it didn't really care that you put something in it. But when it's supposed to be 0, it has to create the storage, and there must be something in the game that actually sorts that out. So yeah. Right, so I shall be right back. I just fixed the last things. At least we're very, very close now, so I'll see you shortly. Thought I'd start the cameras. Yeah, it's ever so strange. It's just like being back at work. Syntax is one missed character or one spelling mistake. That's all it takes. That's the trouble with going. Giants change the wording on certain ones. So if you go from a silo to another, it's like one is exact fill root node, and the others can be exact fill node, and it was as simple as that. All it was. This wasn't registered as the dump place because of a spelling mistake. Yeah, so now we are completely fixed. Yeah, it's you just have to like crack on and just check for the. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, but that's IT anyway. So to be honest, it's just like being back at work. I do need to fix that. That's annoying me. Most of the others are all right. That's really sticking out a lot. That one. It's difficult to do because obviously we all know it's a round building. It's a square poster. So on most of them, I've done a better job than that. I don't know why. Yeah, some of them. Yeah, like the BI Industries one is all right actually. Yeah, again, the bigger you do it as well, the more it sticks out. So yeah, and if you do it wrong, it will disappear inside the wall of the the production. So yeah, it's especially with something round. I've not necessarily made it easy on myself doing it the shapes that I've done it, but it's all about learning really, even as like a modder. I'm really truthfully enjoying to be honest, they are quite unique. I've sort of gone for a very different approach, but I've got to be honest, they're quite pretty. They're not, and even the colours. I mean, that was the one thing I wasn't prepared to. Like the colours are costing quite a bit, as in like it makes the mod a little bit bigger than I'd like it to be. Otherwise, it could be quite small. But I just don't want to like do away with the colour. I think the colour sort of makes them. They sort of. If you use the range, you'd like know like what was what. I mean, as well as the fact it's got a big sign that says it's Bionic Dairy. Yeah, I've got like a standard dairy that just says dairy, and the Bionic Dairy, which is like a super dairy, and I've got that sort of going through the whole range. I've not done everything super. I've also got some that are like, yeah, I'll just briefly sort of show you what I'm waffling on about in the production section. Yeah, I've got my original silage maker, which is what spurred me on to actually start doing some productions. Then we went on to the forage production, which was the one we did next. And then we did the production silo, the pusher, as I call it. And then we've got the one over there, the production for the farm. And the enhanced cannery, which is just a standard cannery. And then we have a spinnery, the one we've got. And we've got the tailor's shop. and then enhanced area, standard area, that without, it doesn't say bionic. Then when you go up to the 27,000 ones, then you get into either doubles, that does two jobs in one, the bakery mill, but I've removed, I think I need to check, I've removed the fact that this will push flour out, because if you're going to have it doing two things, you'd never want well, unless you want to sell flour, and I think I'd put that in the notes, that if you want this double, you can't have flour, because you can't have the two, because it's a production and you tell it to make something that is a production, it's going to push it outside and store it. So you're going to have your flour like starting to form outside, which you don't want really. Most of us want our flour to make bread. So the only way you can combat that is by not allowing your flour out onto the pallets place. So yeah, there's that one. And then this is with the suit factory, but obviously it's completely changed from the one that I've had on all the other Let's Plays. This one I need to make that background. That's the self-sufficient. That's one of my, that is my favourites. That is a real, it's like it says on the tin, it makes you self-sufficient. And then you've got the bionic oil mill. And then you have the bionic dairy, which we've got over there. So yeah, that's the entire range, apart from the BGA, which we have seen, which is there. I do like this. It is a monster. It is. But again, it's not actually, when you actually put it, say, there, it isn't, it's only a little bit bigger than, and some of the size is the fact that I can't, yeah, can I pull the big one forwards a bit? Probably can. I'm not hiding anything now. I was actually hiding a BGA in the middle. Like, I had got this one hidden by it. So you can see that as a whopper. That's the real one. I've just changed the modelling. But I like the wood on that better as well. But that was the original one. And that does hide that. Inside that, can you go inside? Yeah, you can see the BGA in it. I've hidden it in there, but that one hasn't got the BJ in at all, so I might be able to push the back one forwards a bit so it doesn't take up so much room. It is big, and obviously you've got all of the other things I can't hide. You can see the icon. Yeah, it is on Magic. It's because it is on comms. It doesn't do that on the test map at all. There's no weird skullduggery going on. So yeah, I think. This may be a session that you're really not interested in watching at all. It's more about like fixing things that I've broken, but I thought it would give people an insight into the world of modding a little bit, and also it's sort of almost like a news article in itself in a way, because I did a very small one this morning which I might put as news, literally like you just welcome to my live test map and things like that. But again, if it's a load of rubbish, again, you don't have to watch it. It's like anything. What's interesting to one person is totally boring to another. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a geek and proud of it, and other geeks may well appreciate that kind of geeky level, but other people that are like far more normal, as people would sort of put it, or it's true. People I'm a geek and I'm proud of it, and I know I'm different. I've always been different. And I'm proud of that fact. It's what makes me who I am and makes me do what I do. So I'm proud of that. But I also recognise that a lot of people are like bored to tears with the things that I might do or say, because it's just not interesting to them. Whereas like when you waffle on about clothes, to me, I'm just the same. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about makeup. I don't care about clothes, because I'm like more into technology and stuff like that. It's just the way you're built, isn't it, really? Anyway, spent your ears enough. Yeah, we shall crack on with a bit of work next session. I'm going to just call it quits here, and then we'll get on with normal Calmsden sessions. But I just thought I'd include this to let you see a bit behind the scenes, and also to see really the changes, because you've sort of seen. The other thing is you've seen already the work I've done with the over the state of the few weeks we've been at Calmsden. If you sort of think back, and I suppose this is what I'm sort of proud of, if you go to... We started off with this, and I knocked it up one evening. The silage maker, a very humble machine. It only does a couple of things, but it sort of spurred me on to like, well, I can do more than that. And it started off you can see the similarity. I ripped it from that model and then tweaked it, and it does look old and battered and bruised, although it's got reasonable texturing. reasonable. And then obviously from that, all of these productions have come. I mean, I had the standard Giants ones with the sheds, and I thought, I don't really want to do that. It means, like I'm just copying Giant stuff. And it was okay at the beginning for me to do that. But now, it has spurred me on to actually create unique things, even if I've not quite got the skill to make from scratch. I mean, I have a little. I could I need to fix that as well. I'm going into it. Has got collisions if you're in a vehicle, but if you're a human, you can walk straight through it. It's ever so strange. So it is weird. I haven't switched the collisions off, and I need to fix that pipe. I keep saying it. It's so that will. We'll leave it there, definitely. So I hope you'll join me next session. And yeah, if you've want to see anything or know anything, just drop me a line and I'll do my best to answer and respond. Yeah, so goodbye for now.